still.
Right.
Like, there was Fort Henry Drive. There's, especially where it was, there wasn't a ton of stuff immediately around. So I was like, I think it'd be cool if we had enough space that we could maybe put like a restaurant or a bar in, because I think it goes well with that kind of retail business.
Mm-hmm.
And
Already had an Irish vibe to it.
yeah, so because of that, when we found the Charles building, we shortly after it was purchased, which was right at the outset of COVID,
Uh-huh.
we looked at a couple different general contractors, settled on Ernest Campbell here in Johnson City.
Love
And
Ernest Campbell. Good guy.
he,
Definitely.
predictions after we went through dealing with architectural plans and stuff like that, 9 to 6 months. Well, COVID is COVID. 26 months later, we got everything wrapped up for the most part. I
Yeah.
mean, there's still, of course, things that both Jamie and I and my mother and father want done to the building, but kitchen's complete. Everything that needed to be brought up to code to get the building to where it needed to be is complete, and we were ready to rock and roll, except for the fact that we had never opened a restaurant or a bar before. So that took a little bit of time and effort, but we finally got there, and July 1st restaurant open, September 16th the bar open. And
Nice.
so
Now, Jamie, are you the head chef over there?
Oh no. Sean's the head chef actually. He started out as the head chef, planning the recipes, and then we brought in some additional help, and so pretty much Sean gets to be hands off now
Nice.
with cooking.
So he wants something special that he can only
Yeah.
make.
not even that. I think it's more along the lines of, both Jamie and I and Holly and Keith, my parents, who are also partners of the business and owners. My mother says, she has rules for the business, and I have rules for the business. And her rules for the business is cleanliness, good food,
Mhm.
And good service.
Amen. Those are like,
Whereas my rules are a little bit more crude and more public. So,
gotcha.
I think it is probably the biggest thing for us is we want people to come into the business, whether it's for the tabletop gaming or if it's for the Irish pub. And we are both pretty serious. All of us are. When you come into the shop, we want a sense of community. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what your interests are, whether or not you're a diehard fan of any of the stuff in the gaming store, or you're just coming in because you want the aesthetic of eating in a pub. Whereas you can sit down on the main floor of the building, or at the bar, or at any of the tables, or wander around and feel comfortable. And it's a chill environment where it's one of those things where no matter what you're there for, you're just there to hang out and have a good time. So
I like it. I like it. Jamie, tell me a little bit about the menu. Like, if somebody's listening, they're like, I don't know what all you have, but
We try to keep it as traditional as possible.
Okay.
So we have shepherd's pie
Mm-hmm.
made with ground lamb, and a lot of people will come in and ask for beef, and we'll say, well, that's cottage pie, and that's not really traditional. So
And it's not on the menu.
yes, so
it is sporadically. Just
I
very
gotcha.
often.
Gotcha.
Currently.
So, yeah.
just for now, we have bangers and mash, which is a big
Uh-huh.
hit. We have fish and chips, huge hit. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
Scotch eggs. Everyone loves that.
What is?
Scotch eggs? It's a hard-boiled egg rolled in sausage,
Okay.
and then
Rolled in breadcrumbs
Yes.
and then deep fried.
deep
Ooh.
fried.
Served
And
with
served
spicy
chilled.
mustard or
Oh, there's no way that's not good.
You get two, so
Oh,
you
man.
can share.
That sounds really good.
We have fresh baked bread, which is where Holly likes to come in and bake in the morning. We have scones and soda bread and honey wheat bread.
Nice.
Baked every day, so
Can you come in and just buy bread?
Yep.
you can.
Sure
Really?
can.
Mhm.
That's cool. Yeah.
We
Okay.
sell like soda bread by the loaf. It's like a nice round loaf.
Yeah.
That's our most popular. item.
That's awesome. Okay, and so what are the hours of the restaurant? Like if you want to come in for food?
11 a.m.
Uh-huh.
7 days a week till 10 p.m. Now, granted, like most restaurants, specifically in downtown, there may be times where we're open later. There may be times we close early.
Gotcha.
That's dependent on the crowd, the season, weather,
Gotcha.
you know. But for the most part, lunch and dinner every single day. We're hoping here in the later month of October to start offering a full Irish breakfast.
Oh.
Probably right at first, just on Sundays for brunch
I like
and
it.
lunch, and then it will become an all-day menu item every day.
I think brunch is a great idea. There are not many places in town you can do it. So, yeah, I think that'd be a huge hit.
Yeah, so
Tell me your favorite thing on the menu, Sean.
that's not fair because I'm the one who made the menu. So, I mean,
Well, you know,
I think
it's kind of
part
like
of
your
it-
kids. You probably have a favorite.
I do have a
I'm just
favorite.
kidding.
I do. You're correct. You're correct.
We won't mention who that is.
I'll tell you even if you don't want to know, but we'll
Yeah.
stick with the menu right
Yes,
now.
let's do that.
Like most people who come in and they ask that question, it's one of those things where it depends on how hungry you are.
Mm.
If you're really, really, really hungry, you may want to stick with the shepherd's pie. Maybe not. You want to try the Guinness chili.
Mm.
If you're only looking for something light, the ribeye sandwich is really good. Or if you're a fish person, it's beer battered fish and chips, and you can either get it with one fillet or two.
Ooh.
If you just want something light, Scotch eggs is one of the things that Jamie also mentioned. We also have a sampler which has portions of most of the things off the menu.
Oh, that's cool.
Or one of the things that I like the best is sausage roll, which comes with an apple curry sauce.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So, I mean, I think it just depends.
Yeah.
All the food is cooked in house.
Gotcha.
Probably the only thing that's not freshly made are fries. But
Okay.
they're, you know,
Hard to make fries. A ton
you
of fries,
can.
especially
It's
if
just
yeah.
anybody who has a potato chipper in their kitchen is a level of crazy I'm not ready to head towards yet. So
Are your fries like long finger
they're
French fries, or are
they're
they?
steak fries.
Okay.
As close as I can get to chips.
Gotcha.
So
And we have a red cabbage coleslaw that's served with a lot of the menu items too.
Okay.
so
What's your favorite thing, Jamie? Sean dodged the question, but we're gonna put.
Well,
you.
actually, I have a favorite that was that's not currently on the menu. It shows up as a special from time to time, which
Ooh.
is the roast
stuffed pork
stuffed
tenderloin,
pork tenderloin
Ooh, that does
with
sound
an
good.
apple curry,
apple
Ooh.
chutney.
apple chutney. Sorry,
Yum.
apple chutney
I
on the side, and
love
it was
chutney. Yeah.
I had never had that before, so when you
Salmon-
made it, I was
Salmon
love
is very
it.
popular. I think probably the chili that we serve on the menu for the store is very close to the chili that I make at home, though it's not the same because if I put the same types of meats in the store chili as I do at home, we wouldn't have a business because it
It's
costs
just
too
too
much
expensive.
money.
Yeah.
It
So,
also has our own twist. It's served a little different. It's served over mashed potatoes
Oh,
with a
So-
side of corn chips and
Yeah.
then sour cream and cheese.
watch
and-
out, Petros.
So it's not just a bowl of chili. It's kind of a gourmet chili.
That sounds super fancy, and it's Guinness, right?
Yeah,
There's a little Guinness in there.
Most of the food at the shop, entrees, at some way or another either have beer or whiskey in the recipe the way it's been made. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that I'm attempting to serve chili or a burger that is alcoholic to underage people. It's what it's cooked to.
Just got a little flavor to it.
That's
All
right.
the alcohol
That's
burns
right.
off when you're cooking it.
That's
anyway,
right.
So, I think it's great. I'm excited to try it. Okay, so beer and whiskey. You guys have a bar now, right? You
Full
said
bar.
that just opened up.
Full
recently?
bar.
Full bar. Tell us about the bar. How's that going?
It's been going really well. I mean, I think since we started serving on the 16th of September, we've gone through 3 kegs of Guinness, Smithwick's, a bunch of other either Irish or English or German beers. it's one of those things where, surprisingly enough, 6.5 weeks ago, I had a gentleman come in off the street as we were waiting on licensing, and he came in and sat down at the bar where I had the retail manager, restaurant manager, assistant restaurant manager were all sitting there eating lunch, and I was standing behind it talking to them as they were shoving burgers in their face. And this gentleman walked in off the street, tall and lanky, and sat down and was like, "Do you mind if I sit here?" And, you know, so many words, but I picked up a distinctive accent. And then shortly after that, he and I started talking, and he had just moved to the area a couple months ago. He had lived in Charleston for the past 13 years, and lo and behold, this gentleman was from Dublin, Ireland.
Nice.
And he came in just talking to me, and I offered him a position, and with his help, he and I have gotten the bar to the point where we're pretty confident in what it does and what it produces, and biggest thing for us is consistently, just like the food, it's consistent every single time. Every single time you come in, whether it's me or him or some little college student who's tending bar, that you'll get the same pint of Guinness or Guinness.
You got to build it, right? You got to pour half of one and then kind of.
That's right. That's right.
Finish it off.
You got to let it settle. So.
Yeah. That's so good. There's no. I think that's one of my favorites. I don't think there's anything better than a Guinness on draft.
It's a meal in a cup.
It is unbelievable.
So.
And it's done right with nitro. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people ask,
Yeah.
do you use CO2 or nitro? We use nitro.
So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we have a couple of different signature cocktails that Kieran is his name, has gone over and we put together. We do Irish coffees. I think we have 8 or 9 different variations of an Irish coffee there, and then the Guinness mixed drinks, which is Guinness mixed with different things.
Oh, wow.
So
I thought you could do that.
You can mix it with.
So mix it with a Pilsner,
Oh, wow.
cider, champagne, whatever you want, you know, and then different flavors, different tastes, you know.
That's amazing.
And it's layered, so it has a very unique
Yeah.
look to it. It's really, really cool.
Day at a
My brain
time.
is on, going wild thinking about how that would show up and what it tastes like.
I think part of it for us too is you know, with everything that goes with the business, the bar in general, it's just we're going for the whole Cheers vibe, where you walk in
and it's Norm.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody knows
You walk
your
in,
name.
everybody knows who you are. It's
I
like,
like it.
oh hey, how's it going? It's great to see you back. So
I like it. I like
And
it.
the bar is open a little later.
it's open until 1. That's part of the reason why I'm a little groggy right now, because that's
You
what I
rolled
do.
in at 1 last night, or 1. Well, if you closed at 1, you're.
I'm there till 2 or 3, depending on the day.
Oh, wow.
So that's usually what I do. So when Jimmy came in this morning and was like, hey, you got to get up, I was like, leave me alone. So.
No, you got to get up. You got to go talk to Colin. Okay. All right, Jamie, tell me, it's a gaming pub. It's not just a restaurant and a bar. It's a gaming pub. Talk to me about gaming. What is the story behind it? Like,
So
what can we expect if you walk into Mulligan's to game?
for those who don't know anything about us, the first thing we'll tell guests is that we have demo games where they can come in and play board games.
Okay.
Pick a table. If they like to sit down and eat, get some
Yeah.
drinks, put down a board game, and just try it out. If they don't want something else, they can put it back and get a different one. We have a pretty good selection, but we're always looking to increase those demo games. And then we also have daily events, sometimes more than likely on Friday nights for Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
We have drafts, and we're going to be having a draft and a draft where you can get a draft of Guinness, and where it's a pint, and then you buy a draft of Magic the Gathering and you play a game with other
And I'm sure there
customers
are
as well.
listeners that know what Magic the Gathering is.
Yes, and it starts at 7. So
Okay.
yeah.
Magic the Gathering, like Pokemon and other stuff like that, is a trading card game.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at your website right now.
Yeah,
It tells all about it.
Instead of playing spades or gin or rummy or hearts or bridge, these are cards that come in packs, and it's based off of different rules within whatever product that you purchased. There are ways to play it competitively,
Gotcha.
and that's one of the things. On top of the trading card games, it's become much more prevalent, and you mentioned it when we first sat down. Specifically, in the past 10 years, 20 to 30 years ago, it was one of those things you didn't talk about in public, which is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
In tabletop gaming, and that is it's a fairly large portion of the business too. People come in, and there are 2 floors to the building with a mezzanine level, and on the mezzanine level we have a private room which can be rented out for that, or a party, or business meetings, or if you just want to go in there by yourself and watch TV, you can do that too. You know, but Dungeons and Dragons pretty significant. I think we had a group of 5 there last night until 11:30 or
late.
midnight.
Oh wow.
So it's just it's one of those things where
It takes a long time to play. I used to
it
play when I was a
does.
kid.
I mean, I think it takes a long time to play, and part of it too is sometimes it's hard to do it if you're not in the right atmosphere.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
know.
So something about Dungeons and Dragons is that people ask, how do I get involved? And basically, we have a Discord that I shared a link with you all that you can pass on. Basically, if someone wants to join a ongoing campaign, then they can join the Discord. If they don't use Discord and they're anti, technology in that sense, we can take their information and share it with dungeon masters that are looking for players, or vice versa if it's just they're just looking for more, But we have an Adventurers League that goes on where there's kind of like one-shots where they can come in. You don't have to come in every single week. You can just come in once a month or every other week, or however you really want, whatever fits your schedule. And you can come in and play in the ongoing Adventurers League campaign, which is Spelljammer right now. And it's a new series that Dungeons and Dragons has. And then if you want, again, like the ongoing long term, like some of these games can last months or years. If you're looking for that group to come in and play with, we can help you find that group as well.
That's cool. Yeah, and again, it comes back to community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm looking on here. All kinds of stuff. Digimon. I'm saying hopefully these things correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think my brain went to their axe throwing is big now, and those kind of games and that stuff. And so when I thought of gaming, until I went on your website and checked it out, I didn't know exactly what gaming we were talking about.
So I mean, part of it too is like a lot of the major renovations in the building have been done.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you're never done with this kind of thing. So
Yeah.
like here in this weekend, this Friday in particular, we have our ribbon cutting ceremony with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, that's why
And-
we're dropping this on Friday to help hopefully
So
promote that a little
we
bit.
have a live band that will be coming to play. They're from North Carolina.
Yes, from Charlotte. They're
Charlotte.
a fiddler and a flutist.
Ooh,
So they come highly rated, and
Yeah.
we're really excited to have them. And
But like here in the future, we'll be adding dartboards,
that's what I was going to say.
a foosball
maybe-
table, some pinball machines, maybe a Galaga cabinet, maybe an
shuffleboard table or
yeah, air hockey or shuffleboard, stuff like that. Because the whole point of what we're doing is, like, even yesterday I was talking with to the other business owners, my mother and father, and saying, hey, I think I'm going to have the handyman and carpenter, and we're going to put a propane fireplace in so we can put easy, wingback chairs in so people can sit and talk and
Yeah,
drink scotch or wine and just relax. And
so you don't have to come in the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, part
It's
of
just
it.
a
right.
nice
I mean,
thing.
I'd say a lot of our listeners are just going to come in to get a Guinness and
Yeah.
hang out. And,
I mean, even if it's just food or just to come and just take a look. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the biggest thing. The gaming store was the first step, but
Mhm.
it's not the last step. It's part of the equation now,
Yeah.
and the part of it is it could be as big as small as a person needs it to be, depending on who the person is. It's just the identification of gaming pub, and the whole portion was Irish pub because it makes sense. It makes sense specifically in downtown Johnson City. I feel like Jamie and I and my parents were filling a niche that, or an area that hasn't been scratched.
Sure.
Whereas, at the same time, both Jamie and I will do this. We fully support and encourage all the rest of the people that come into our business to go and visit other restaurants, go and be patrons to what they're providing and what they're serving. Same with small businesses. But maybe you just want to come and you're like, hey, I want a lot of mashed potatoes that are loaded with dairy. I want to eat some sausage that has been soaked and boiled in beer.
Yeah.
And after I eat it, I want to sit and stare at a wall and do nothing for 3 hours. Guess what? You found the right place. So
if you're looking for a hearty meal and a good beer and some gaming or none,
or just a place to relax, really, that's it. And I think that's the biggest thing for us. I wouldn't say it's a fairly strict rule, but we have TVs in various places on the first floor of the building, and outside of maybe Premier Soccer, I don't play sports. Like, if you want to come in, there's stuff on the TV. You might watch Harry Potter, or it might be Lord of the Rings, or it might be a cartoon, or it might be an old movie from Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah.
And it's not...
There are plenty of other places to go watch college football.
There are literally...
Yeah.
8 sports bars, 8 bars that play sports nonstop.
I think that's great.
It's just, I want people to come in and not be to the point where if we're sitting at a table like we are right now in the restaurant or at the bar, I don't have to yell over the television or the chatter hubbub of the crowd because of what's going on.
Yeah.
To hear what the other person's saying.
Yeah. Maybe during a premiere or football.
Not match. Even that. I mean, part of it for me is, and this is the funny thing, and this is what our Irish bartenders told me, is even when the World Cup is on, he's asked if he could have people over to watch it. I was like, yes. Those matches happen at like 6 o'clock in the morning on like a Saturday or Sunday.
That's right.
I'm not going to be there, and I know a lot of people aren't either, so I don't think it even matters.
Yeah, so, that's fine. So, yeah, you could maybe even do some events, because I've got a lot of friends that love Premier Soccer, and so, yeah, you could have some early morning events.
Early morning events, that'd which I will not be running.
There you go. I like it. Anything else you'd like to share about your gaming pub before we...
I mean, part of it, too, and I think this is a big thing, because I am a pretty point-blank blunt person, is the aesthetic of the building, the aesthetic of the business, the aesthetic of what we're putting forward as a business and social media presence, stuff like that, has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Jamie, which is sitting to my right, because I'm about as creative as your whiteboard. So,
He's hating on your whiteboard, Mitch.
Part of it for us is it's Jamie and I, but really it's the family as a whole that has gotten this to the point where it is now, and I think we have big plans moving forward. One of the things that both Jamie and I and my parents have learned since coming to Northeast Tennessee is it's all about being patient, because everything here takes time. So
it does take time, and sounds like it took a long time to get going, 26 months.
So,
well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on the podcast. How do our listeners connect with you guys, besides just showing up at Mulligan's Gaming Pub, which is right downtown? What's the address?
308 East Main Street. We're right next to the King Center.
Yep.
We're across from the Old Hands-On Museum. We are in the Charles Building, which used to be Holidays, Gift, and Florals.
Yes, I remember all these things. That's good.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we have our website, mulligansgamingpub.com, where you can reach all those places there as well.
Yeah, it just was on your website. It's great.
And so here, real quick, we buy and sell and trade trading cards.
Oh, cool.
So, if people want to look at those, that link is also on our website.
Oh, yeah.
And
Quick question: if somebody found like in their granddad's attic a big old box of baseball cards and that kind of stuff, are you guys a good resource?
We are not necessarily for baseball cards and stuff like that. I mean, if you bring them in, like if I'm in building or quite a few of my employees, we'll be able to look at it and tell you whether or not it is worth your time to look into it. And we know most of the other collectible stores within 100 miles, so we'd be able to direct you where to go.
Yeah, that's a good resource.
That's not a problem. But it's like, for instance, we have people that will call the shop and be like, "Hey, do you have?" It's, especially here in the fall months, they'll be like, "I need a PS5 controller for my son," and I'm just like, "I'm sorry, we don't sell video games. We don't sell console games. It's not that we personally, myself, my wife, my employees, don't like doing those things. We do. The whole purpose of the store, all of the different types of products that are on the website, is you have to sit across the table from somebody and have an interaction where you look them in their face and they look you in your face. And so
I love the inspiration of that, and I think that's something's missing, right? I mean, if you're just online and you're by yourself and you're isolated, it's just not good long term for you. You need to get in community. You need to get eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly with somebody, and get to, share your life and hear what their life's going on, and that's community. And it sounds like it all's coming back to community, like you guys said. And I think that's why Johnson City is thriving, because we love each other and we do want to see each other. We don't want to just be isolated and not hang out. So I think you're filling a neat niche there for that, and you're pushing a little bit for some of those people who maybe are a little on the fence about getting out and meeting someone else to play a game. I think you're pushing that envelope a little bit for them. So if you haven't been out and you're just by yourself gaming online, come down to Mulligan's and check it out and play with somebody face to face.
Yeah, you don't have to know how to play the board games. They'll teach you.
Yeah.
Same thing with the trading card games. We also have miniature war games with Warhammer.
Yeah.
And if you want to join that, we have employees, we have customers that are willing to help people join that community too.
The vast majority of the people that work at the shop, probably minus me and one or two others, are introverts and would prefer to do that.
Right.
And I hear on a regular basis, specifically from some of our younger employees, whether it's with the retail store, with our online sales team, with the restaurant, either in the back of the house or the front of the house, I'm socially awkward. I don't know how to approach to talk to people. Well, we have a 14,200 square foot building where we have a ton of socially awkward people. Just come and do it with us. Be socially awkward together.
Right. We're all
that's
awkward.
Totally okay. I mean, I don't see any need to be socially awkward specifically in our building, because, I mean, it's just a bunch of geeky, dorky stuff, and if you like it, you like it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So.
But you don't even have to like the geeky stuff.
It doesn't even matter. If you can
like
literally
fish and chips.
That, or you could just literally be like, I just want to come here and people watch because this is amazing, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
So
even if we haven't mentioned any kind of specific items, if they come in and talk to us or call us on the phone or message us on Facebook, reach out to us. Basically, if we find a niche out there that people want to do chess or anything, whatever it may be, we'll find out if there's other people that want to do that too. Maybe they're just not speaking up, So, don't hesitate to come out and ask us.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I hope our listeners enjoyed our conversation. I'm excited about your grand opening on Friday. What time's that happening?
2 p.m. Live music from 6 to 10 p.m. And we will also be live broadcasting on 3 different radio stations from 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And we'll have board games going where if anyone wants to come and do a pickup game, we'll have that going too.
Yeah.
We'll come out. Time.
Yeah. So listeners, come out and meet my new friends, the McCoys, and come out and check Mulligan's Gaming Pub out, because it sounds like an awesome place. I'm looking forward to getting in there and getting a Guinness and some fish and chips, because that would be awesome. Until next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you want to move to Johnson City or invest in real estate or have us manage your property, we would love to do that. You can connect with me as well. Thanks and have a great day.